So welcome back, guys, to We Talk Boxing. And Deontay Wilder is set to return to the ring this April against his opponent Curtis Harper. Now, this will be and see, I should say, Deontay Wilder back in the ring for the first time since his two back-to-back losses, which he suffered last year. The first to Zhilei Zhang, and then the second to Joseph Parker. Now, in terms of his opponent for this fight, now it's not a fighter that I'm pretty much used to. Curtis Harper currently had 13 bouts to his name with a record of 18 wins with 11 losses on his record, no draws. Now, in those 11 losses, he suffered 6 KOs to opponents, and he's only got 12 KO wins on his 18 win record as well. Now, in terms of Curtis Harper, he is an American fighter and he's 36 years of age, so he's only a few years younger than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's 39, nearly 40. And I'm guessing the same with Harper, maybe 36, nearly 40, give or take. But yeah, he's a few years younger than Wilder. He's also shorter in height as well, 6'2", with a 78.5-inch reach as well. Um, Currently got 66.6% KO percentage rate, and he started his career way back in 2010. So he's 15 years as a pro. Now, hasn't really had that many fights for a 15-year career. Yeah, so he's there's probably other things that have gone on to prevent him from having a lot of fights. But in terms of Curtis Harper, according to BoxRec, he's ranked 32 out of 365 American heavyweights. Now, the people that he's lost to, Curtis Harper, he's got 11 losses on his record. 6 of those losses were KO losses. Now, he's always lost to the better class opposition. So again, the people that I'm going to go way back. So I'm just having a look on BoxRec now. He lost his first ever fight, which was a 4-round contest, which was a TKO to a guy Consuria. Don't even know who that guy is, but anyway, he lost to him before clocking up a few wins and then trying to challenge a Gerald Washington. Now, he got KO'd in that fight against Washington. It was a 6-round contest, and he got KO'd in the 5th round. And then he lost his next fight straight after that to a Donovan Dennis as well, before clocking up a few more wins, quite a few more wins before taking on better opposition again in Chris Arreola. And this was an 8th round contest where he lost on a unanimous decision, before then taking on the biggest puncher, or one of the biggest punchers in heavyweight division, Zhilei Zhang, where he got TKO'd in the 1st round. He then won his next fight back before taking on a top 10 ring fighter at this present moment in time, F.A. Ajagba, where it was a first round disqualification. And this was because, if you people are not really familiar with it, Harper obviously stepped into the ring, and then I'm guessing as the bell, I haven't watched it on YouTube, but as the bell obviously rang, he then walked out of the ring, so he got disqualified. I'm guessing he didn't want none of that at Jagba. Yeah, so a bit of a weird one, really. I think he made history with that as well. But anyhow, he then lost his next fight to a Mikhail, can't pronounce his name, but this was a 6-round unanimous decision loss before having a no contest fight, which went 8 rounds against a Brandon Moore. I don't know why or what happened there, but it got changed to a no contest. And then he won his fight after that before going on a 4-fight losing spree. And the 4 fights losing spree, he fought 3 big names in that fight, in those fights. Jalilov, who he got KO'd against in 4 rounds before taking on a unknown guy, Damian Kanaba, where he lost on TKO, 8-rounder, before taking on Vinanello, who recently beat Makhmudov in a unanimous decision where he lost against Vinanello in an 8-round unanimous decision, and then taking on a Richard Torres, who is ranked quite highly in the BoxRec's ranking currently as the number 4 in the US heavyweights. and number 23 in the world according to BoxRec. So Richard Torres is a prospect. Still believe he's in his 20s. Let me just double check. Yeah, he's 25 years of age, so he could potentially be one of these next up-and-coming American heavyweights in the future, potentially. But since that Richard Torres lost back in 2023, he has gone on a 4-fight winning spree. Now, I know a lot of you people are probably thinking, wow, yeah, he's undefeated in 4 fights. But when you dig a little bit deeper and you click on the opposition that he's actually fought, these guys are poor. These guys are pub guys. Like one guy, Caleb Slaughter, he's lost 10 times in 15 fights. And then, which obviously Curtis Harper beat. And after that, he took on a guy called Ronnie Hale. Now, when you click on his record, he's lost 19 fights, won 5, drew 1. So yeah, not a good opposition to be trying to compete or anything like that. Before taking on an Antoine Tubbs, he's lost 21 fights, only winning 5. So again, that guy's got no hope of beating this Harper guy. And then obviously he lost to a Francisco Russell as well. So yeah, the people that he's beating are pretty much nobodies, to be fair, and don't really deserve a ranking. But he's clocking up wins against these nobodies, probably building up a little bit of confidence. But I personally believe that if Deontay Wilder's got anything left in him, he should be knocking this guy out in the first round. Shouldn't be going rounds 2 or rounds 3. But I believe it will do, and that's the reason for that is because Deontay Wilder's got low confidence after his last two losses. He's obviously suffered big KO knockout against Zhilei Zhang, which obviously hurt. And then obviously that points loss as well against Joseph Parker, which he absolutely got schooled. So yeah, so he's not going to be on a lot of confidence, but Wilder should get the KO in this fight. So I am banking, all my money on Deontay Wilder beating this guy. And if this guy beats Deontay Wilder, then I don't even know what to say, because it shouldn't be happening. But yeah, that's Deontay Wilder's next opponent. Pretty much a nobody for me. Pretty much a guy that it's just about getting Deontay Wilder back in the ring. Giving him a pudding, as most people would probably say, to fight and to score a knockout against, to build that confidence, and then potentially fighting a little bit of a better opposition after that. Now, in terms of the people that I would potentially like him to see fight, you got people in the heavyweight, the US heavyweight market, like Jermaine Franklin. I believe Franklin would give him a very, very tough fight, and he's a very durable opponent. He obviously took AJ distance and Dillian White as well, so he is quite durable and he can bang a little bit as well. But depending on what type of Deontay Wilder we see in April, I would potentially consider Wilder a favourite, but that's a tougher opponent than the guy that is fighting at this moment in time. And then maybe someone like a Stephen Shaw or a Jarrell Miller, or Andy Ruiz. These are the type of opponents that we probably want to see Deontay Wilder in next. So for me, it's about getting this pudding out of the way, just scoring a quick knockout, looking good, building your confidence, and then maybe taking on a little bit of a better opposition in your next fight before looking for a bigger fight. Now, we all now know that Anthony Joshua is not going to be fighting Tyson Fury because Fury's retired. So for me, I would still like to watch the AJ versus Deontay Wilder fight if that could be made maybe towards the end of this year. AJ's still got to, come back and try and get a win and get a victory and build his confidence. So Wilder's fighting in April. If AJ could probably fight in maybe April, May, and then Wilder probably fight again July, August, September, give or take. AJ fight around the same time, then both of these guys can maybe meet in Saudi Arabia in December to have a big blockbuster fight if both guys have won their fights prior to that, because we're not going to see the fight between AJ and Fury. So why not AJ try and attempt or bring Deontay Wilder into the ring and try and you know what I mean, entice him into the ring, because I think it's a good fight and both guys would get paid. Turkey Al Sheikh would pay for that fight. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in regards to Deontay Wilder returning on April the 26th in Atlanta. So that is the date that's been put out there. So let me know your thoughts. His opponent's no one to be speaking highly of. He's just someone that he needs to get a victory against. But for you guys, would you have liked him to take on maybe a bit more of a sterner opponent? If not, and you think this guy's probably right for him at this moment in time, do you believe he wins by knockout, TKO, or points? For me, it should be a knockout, and it should be in the first round, but I'd probably give him to maybe rounds 3. As always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.